if you can draw this when you were a kid, you can literally draw any pose. I guarantee it, and in today's video, I'm gonna show you how to utilize the Stickman properly so you can create dynamic poses. I learned this method back when I was working in an animation studio because when you're an animator, you need to learn how to draw any poses. We are technically going to use a Stickman, but not this kind of Stickman. So let's modify this to suit our needs. We're not going to go crazy with the shapes because our main priority is getting the pose right. Let's draw the character standing first. We'll start with the head. Just a simple oval would do. After that, let's draw another oval for the ribs. You can draw a center line if you want. Connect the head and the ribs with a line, and this will be the neck. Then we'll draw a smaller oval for the pelvis. Let's link these two ovals with a line. For the arms, let's draw some angled lines on the sides. You can add circles in the joints for the elbows. Same with the legs, we'll draw some angled lines and draw circles for the knees. For the hands and feet, let's draw some triangles. Now, if you notice, this bare bone shape is similar to a skeleton. It's easier to draw the pose this way because you eliminate the details that can overwhelm your brain and you can just focus on getting the pose right. So now we can pose this however we want. Let's say we want to draw a character who is sprinting. We are also going to apply some foreshortening in this drawing. Don't worry about the proportion for now. Let's focus on tweaking this to how we like it. Once you're done, you can either draw over this or use this as a reference. I actually prefer to do the latter. So now we're gonna draw some basic shapes. In the previous two videos, I have shown you how to draw a male and female body. So if you like, you can check out the eye icon on the top of the screen if you want to refresh your memory. Let's draw the head. Draw a center line to indicate where the head is facing. Then let's draw the torso. For this, I'm still gonna draw the trapezoid shape, but we're gonna add some depth so it's gonna look a bit boxy. We're also going to add a center line to where the torso is facing. Then we're gonna draw the pelvis as a boxy pentagonal shape. When the body bends, it sometimes bends like this, so the torso and the pelvis might behave differently. Let's draw a center line for the pelvis. If you notice, the ribs and the pelvis are slightly facing different directions. That is because when we run, our bodies tends to twist a bit so we can exert more force. One mistake that I have observed, and I admit I overlooked this too, is that they draw the body as a single straight box. And what happens is the pose looks stiff because the body isn't twisted a bit. Anyway, let's continue. Let's draw some circles for the shoulder joints, and then let's draw the arms, and then let's draw another set of circles for the elbows. You got to pay attention to the perspective and the proportion this time, okay? Some parts may look small because of the perspective, but don't make it too small as it disrupts the proportion. You gotta learn how to eyeball it. Let's add the lower body by adding circles to the knees, and then drawing the legs, and then we'll draw the feet. Now we can add the details keeping in mind the volume of the character. Since the character is moving, let's depict motion by making the clothing flow. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Let's draw a character skateboarding. First, let's draw a simple shape for the skateboard. I'm gonna start with the feet because it's interacting with the skateboard. We will work our way up, drawing the legs first, and then the pelvis, and then the ribs, the arms, and finally the head. So now let's draw the basic shapes. One tip I would like to share is if the pose has hidden parts, like for this example, the arms on the far side are obscured by the torso, draw it anyway. This will eliminate the guesswork when you're doing the proportions and adding the details later on. This little step is helpful, especially when you're drawing dynamic poses. So after we draw a shape for the head, what we can do is draw a line across for the shoulders and another line for the spine, just to dictate how the upper body would behave. It can be a straight line or a simple curve, or it can be the letter S since the torso and pelvis behave differently from each other. If you're still having some struggles with the pose, the best thing you can do is look for references. There's absolutely nothing wrong with using references. In fact, it can help you visualize the pose clearly instead of just imagining it. I will leave some links in the description below where you can find some references for poses. They are not sponsored, I just want to share them. Of course, you can simply just do a Google or Pinterest search to find the poses you like. Search for a pose and break it down into the Stickman form so you can study and analyze it. After that, practice the pose by drawing it over and over again. And if you manage to draw the pose you like and you're still not satisfied with your drawing, this video on the right will give you some tips on how to improve your drawing immediately.